In the frozen wilderness of the Ural Mountains, 1959, 9 hikers set off on an expedition they believed would test their endurance and skill. What none of them could have foreseen was that this journey would lead to a tragedy shrouded in mystery, one that remains unsolved to this day. This is the chilling story of the Dyatlov Pass Incident. The group, led by Igor Dyatlov, consisted of 8 men and 2 women, all experienced outdoors enthusiasts from the Ural Polytechnic Institute. Their destination was Mount Otorten, a remote and challenging location. Despite the harsh conditions of the Siberian winter, the hikers were well prepared for the journey, or so it seemed. The group set off from Vizhai, the last inhabited settlement, documenting their trek with journals and photographs. Spirits were high as they braved the frigid temperatures and snowstorms, pushing closer to their goal. On February 1st, they reached the slopes of Kolotsyakal or Dead Mountain, where they made camp. For reasons still unclear, they chose an exposed location rather than the forested area below, which offered more shelter. That decision would prove fatal. When the hikers failed to return by February 12th as planned, their families raised the alarm. A search party was assembled, including volunteers, local police, and eventually the Soviet military. What they discovered sent shockwaves through the nation. The search team found the hikers' tent partially buried in snow. It was torn open from the inside, as if they had fled in a panic. Their boots, jackets, and survival gear were still inside, untouched. Footprints in the snow led away from the tent, but they were barefoot, an unthinkable act in temperatures as low as minus 30 degrees Celsius. The first bodies were found a mile away, near the edge of the forest. Yuri Krivonischenko and Yuri Doroshenko lay under a cedar tree, wearing only their underwear. Nearby branches were broken, as if they had climbed the tree in desperation. Between the campsite and the forest, 3 more bodies were found, including that of Igor Dyatlov, sprawled in the snow as if trying to crawl back to the tent. It took 2 more months to locate the remaining 4 hikers, buried under several feet of snow. Their injuries were far more mysterious. The autopsy revealed injuries that defied explanation. Ludmila Dubinina had her ribs crushed and her tongue missing, but no external wounds to suggest how. Semyon Zolotaryov had similar rib fractures. Another hiker, Nikolai Thibault-Brignol, suffered a fractured skull as if struck by tremendous force. Yet there were no signs of struggle or external trauma consistent with their injuries. Over the decades, countless theories have been proposed. Could an avalanche have forced them to flee? Or did they hear strange sounds caused by wind rushing through the pass, something scientists call infrasound, that triggered panic? Some speculate they stumbled upon a secret Soviet military test involving explosives or radiation. Others believe something far more sinister: UFOs, a Yeti, or some other supernatural force. Strangely, traces of radiation were found on some of the hikers' clothing, fueling speculation of a military cover-up. And then there were the accounts of glowing orbs seen in the sky around the time of their deaths, reported by locals and other hikers. Despite multiple investigations, no definitive answer has been found. In 2020, Russian authorities revisited the case, suggesting that a rare type of slab avalanche may have caused the hikers to flee. But even this theory leaves unanswered questions. Why were they barefoot? Why did some sustain such severe injuries, while others appeared unharmed? The Dyatlov Pass Incident is a story of adventure turned tragedy, and a chilling reminder that some mysteries may never be solved. What truly happened on that frozen slope over 60 years ago? We may never know. But one thing is certain: the past will forever hold its dark secrets.